Volume is okay, Mataji. I was just starting the YouTube. That's why it was not. At that time, there was no volume. Is it okay now?
Yes, Prabhuji, you're audible and screen is also visible, Prabhu.
Okay, okay.
It's audible. I think we can start the class.
Okay, Mataji. Let me choose the pen. So, today's chapter is chapter number 15. Okay. So Krishna describes in this chapter about this world and the spiritual world, the difference between this world and the spiritual world, and how we can detach in this world. Okay. So it will be described in this chapter. So chapter number 14, we have read about the three modes of material nature. Last chapter was 14th chapter, that three modes of material nature. And in that we have read about the attachment, the guna. The three modes are causing attachment of ourselves to this material world. And Krishna will describe the detachment process in the 15th chapter. So let's read the 15th chapter in detail and try to understand what Krishna is saying in this chapter. So this chapter is known as Purushottam Yoga. Okay, the yoga of the Supreme Person. It's chapter number 15. With the blessings of Sri Radha and Krishna, we can start this chapter. So let's pray. Let's pray to our Guru Maharaj before initiating the chapter. Okay. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pushtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidhi Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Desh Tarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaur Bhaktivinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Chapter number 15, the sections. Okay, so there are 4 sections, small chapter, 20 slokas are there, small chapter, very nice chapter. So from verse number 1 to 5, becoming detached from the world. Okay, so we'll see about the detachment, the reflection from this world, this material world is the reflection of the spiritual world. So we'll read about the tree, the inverted tree in this section. Okay, then from the sloka number 6 to 11, Purushottam Yoga, that is transmigration from this world to that world, from the material world to spiritual world, how we can transmigrate. And then from sloka 12 to 15, Krishna's position as maintainer. So what is Krishna's position as maintainer? We'll read about that. And then from the last 4 sloka, that is 16 to 20, the 3 sloka of Bhagavad Gita that summarizes the Veda and the Vedanta. Okay. So small chapter, very nice chapter. Okay. These are the 14th chapter sections. We have already read the 14th chapter. Let's move to section number 8, that is from 1 to 5 sloka. Okay, becoming detached from the material world, that is understanding first the material world and as a reflection of the spiritual world, and then become detached from there. Okay. Is there anyone to read the sloka, or shall I start?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, okay, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Urdhvamoolamatash Shakham Ashwatham Prahuravyayam Chandamsi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Savedavit.
So Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Supreme Personality of Godhead, is saying, what he is saying? Urdhva Moolam. Urdhva is ulta, the opposite. Moolam is the root. So the root is opposite. Root is upward. Okay, Urdhva is upward. Adha Shakham, the branches, the Shakham or the branches are Adha. Adha means downward. So Krishna is saying, roots are upward and the branches are downward. Then Aswatham Prahur Avyayam. So there is imperishable Aswatham tree or the banyan tree is there. This world is compared to a banyan tree which is imperishable, and the roots are upward and the branches are downward. This is what Krishna is describing about this material world. Chandamsi yasya parnani, the patte, the leaves are like chandamsi, the Vedic hymns. Okay, Vedic hymns, the leaves are like Vedic hymns, and the yes tam veda sa vedvita. Yes tam veda. Veda is to know. Sa vedvita. One who knows this tree, that person actually knows. So this is what Krishna is describing about this material tree. So let's see, here is material tree is there. Let's describe this material tree. What is this material tree? Then I will try to, or there is description. Okay, so there is description. So let's try to understand from this description. Okay. So this is text number 1, which is described. Okay. So what we have read, this material world is a reflection. Okay. This material world is like a perverted reflection of the spiritual world. The roots are upward, the branches are downward. So this type of thing is seen in the reflection only. Okay. And here you can see there is a one division is there, and there spiritual world is there, and below is the material world is there. And this material world is called perverted reflection. Yeah. So this material world is called perverted reflection. Okay. So let's read about this material world. The material world is described as an upside down banyan tree. Okay. We have already read it. Why the entire material world is compared to a banyan tree? Because for one who is engaged in fruitative activity, there is no end to this banyan tree, which is very, very deep rooted. Okay. One wanders from branch to branch with no end. So, so description, first we'll take the description. So many descriptions. So let's describe this banyan tree. So there is banyan tree is there, the roots is there, and you can see the roots. Brahmaji is sitting here. Okay, Brahmaji is sitting because this material world is made by the Brahma. Okay, so Brahma is making this material world, and on the instruction of Krishna, and he is arising from the lotus navel of the Garbhodaksha Vishnu. One flower is coming. Okay, that lotus flower is coming, and from there the Brahmaji is originating, and he is making this material world, the 14 planetary system, and then the Helix planetary system. So these are the things he's making, and he is also in the material world. He is residing in the uppermost loka, and he is also in the material world. So Brahmaji is sitting now in the uppermost part of the material world, and as the root also in the of the root of the material world, because he is originating the material world, and he is in upper part of the material world, the most upper part of the material world. So Brahmaji is sitting here. Okay, so now you can see there are full trees there, and the trees, many branches are there. Many branches are going down. You can see the many branches are there who are going down. Many branches there who are going up. The leaves are there which are like Vedic hymns. Okay, the people are there in the uppermost part. You can see the many people are there, like Ganesh ji is there, Kartikeya is there, Saraswati Ma is there, Indra is there. So in the upper part you see mostly is the demigods. Okay, the upper planetary system, the people, the demigods are there. You come downward, there Gandharvas are there who are dancing. Okay, so Gandharvas, singers, those apsaras, those things are there just below the uppermost part. Then you come down, you will see the human beings. Okay, so human beings are there, they're working, they're earning, they're working day and night, and they're earning these three things. What are the three things which are represented to the fruits of this material world? The three things are economic development, religiosity, and the sense gratification. You can see the three things are there: economic development, religiosity, and sense gratification. Dharma, artha, and kama. These are the three. And fourth is the moksha. And the moksha you can see here, uppermost part. When the person becomes uppermost, comes to the uppermost part, that is liberation, that is moksha. It is in the uppermost part. Okay. So the three fruits are there: economic development, religiosity, sense gratification, dharma, artha, kama, and fourth is the moksha. You can see here. So these are the fruits. The leaves are the Vedic hymns. Okay, the leaves represent the Vedic hymns. So in the middle portion, you can see the human being. If you come the lower portion, you can see the animals. Cow is there, tiger is there, snake is there. You can see the lower type of people are there. You can see the animals are there. Okay. So the animals, you can see horse is there. So lower planetary system animal, lower species are there in the lower part. Okay, so it is grading. Okay, it is showing the higher people, the lower people, the human beings, then the lower animals, like that it is showing. So this world is like that, this material world is like that. Okay, how we can go from the down to up, from down to up, by using the this pious activity. When we are doing the pious activity, we can go from down to up. Okay, we can go from down to up. How we can come down from up? By using the impious activity branch. So if we are doing the impious activity, we'll come down. Okay, so we'll come down here if we are doing the impious activity. So pious activity will elevate us, impious activity will degrade us. Okay, okay now, and the twigs are the sense objects. Okay, small branches, small twigs are there, this is the sense object. Okay, and the tree is where? The root is in the desire. Okay, so when we have too much desire, the tree is be more flourishing. Okay, so if the desire more, the tree is more bigger tree, flourishing tree. Okay, so it depends on the desire. So whatever desire we have, the tree will be flourishing according to that. So this is the brief description about
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
yes, Mataji.
I wanted to ask if this tree is like for every individual, this tree is there, or the whole world is represented by this tree, Prabhuji?
This whole material world is the tree, Mataji. This whole material world is represented by the tree. Okay, and this you can see the different Brahmaji, there are different individuals are there, upper side the trees there, lower side trees there. So this tree represents the whole material universe. Okay, and one who knows the tree, he actually knows the truth. Okay, he actually knows the Veda. Yes, tam Veda Savedvita. One who knows Veda is to knowing. Savedvita. One who knows this tree, he actually knows the Veda. Okay, this is what Krishna is saying. Okay. So let's
Okay,
description.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, let's read the description. Okay. The material world is described as an upside down tree. Second part, why the entire material world is compared to a banyan tree? Because for one engaged in fruitive acts, there is no end in this banyan tree, which is very, very deep rooted. One wanders from branch to branch with no end. So many things are there. One is wandering from here to there. Here they are like a monkey. We are wandering to enjoy the fruits. Okay, fruits are there. We are trying to enjoy, but we forget that this material world is a reflection. Okay, so I'll give you just one example. Okay, one baby is there who is asking his mother, "I want that moon." Okay, I want that moon. He's seeing the moon and he says, "I want that moon. But that moon is very nice. I want that moon." So mother, she cannot give the moon to him. Okay, because the moon is very, very far. What she does is she trying to console the baby, but baby is not. Baby is very adamant. He wants that thing. Okay, the baby are very stubborn, so they want that if they want one thing, they will cry for it. Okay, so they start crying. The baby start crying. Now mother is thinking how I can give the moon to this baby. Okay, so what she did, she bought a large piece of water body, like a bathtub like thing. Okay, and she fill its water, and the reflection of moon is there in the water, and the baby sees the reflection. Oh, now he's happy that he has moon in front of him. Okay, so now he's very happy, but and his happiness is temporary, because when he goes for playing to that moon is reflection only. That moon is not that actual moon. So that moon is reflection. Similar way. Okay, we see happiness in this world like a hankering. Okay, when we see that, okay, that tree is there, that fruit is there, we try to go to that fruit, we will try to enjoy that fruit. But when we actually go to that fruit, there is no fruit. Okay, there is no enjoyment. So when we search happiness in this material world, we are running from here and there. We are working day and night. We are working for money. We are working for name and fame. We are trying to search happiness, but actually there is no happiness. Okay, and nothing we are getting by doing all those things. At last there is nothing. Okay, all those things, whatever things are here, it is like a reflection. of the spiritual world. Okay, but actual fruit is also there. Where is the actual fruit? In the spiritual world, because that is the only reflection. Okay, from where the reflection is coming. So this material world doesn't have any happiness. It doesn't have happiness. Where is the happiness? The happiness in the spiritual world. Okay, this material world doesn't have any fruit. Okay, where is the fruit? Fruit in the spiritual world. Okay, but it is only the perverted reflection. If love is there in the spiritual world, lust is there in the material world. Like that is the things. Okay. So we are wandering from one branch to another. We try to search for the fruit in one branch. If fruit is not there, we are trying to go to another branch, but there also there is no fruit. So we are wandering from one branch to another. Okay, in the search of fruit. What is the purpose of Vedic hinds? The leaves, to elevate oneself gradually from the material conditioning to the spiritual life. Why understand this tree of illusion? One who understands this indestructible tree of illusion can get out of it by sword of detachment. So one, unless and until one understands that there is tree, this world is not real. This world is a perverted reflection. Unless and until one knows that, how can one cut this tree? Okay. So it is very important to understand this tree. What is the process of extrication? What is the process of cutting? Devotional service is best way, as explained by all the chapters. So devotional service is the best way to cut this tree. Detachment from the material activity and process of attachment by transcendental activity. Okay, transcendental sword. So let's understand this. What does it mean to know the Veda? One who knows these trees is actually the knower of Veda. What is the meaning? It means that one who knows how to cut off the attachment of this material world. So Veda is meant for cutting this material world. One who is attracted by ritualistic Vedic formula is just attracted by the beautiful green leaves on the banyan tree and does not know the purpose of Veda. Okay. Chapter 15 refutes the impersonalism. Impersonalism are the people who try to worship the Brahman form. Okay, they do not believe in the personal form of Krishna. They believe in the impersonal form of Krishna. Okay, that is the partial form, partial realization, the first step of realization of the God. Okay. What is the nourishment? Text number 2. Material world is a tree nourished by the three modes and the fruitative activity. Okay. So it is nourishment. The tree nourishment should be there for the tree to grow. Okay, and that nourishment comes by the three modes and the fruitative activity. Whatever activity, if we are too much fruitative activity we are doing, too much desires we are doing too much fruitative activity, what will happen? The tree of attachment will grow more. Okay. You can see here, this tree we have already described. This is based on the desire. So desire is there. And after the desires, what is there? Krishna Loka is there after the desire. If you cross the desire, if you control the desire, Krishna Loka is there. Okay. You can see Krishna is there with Radha and a beautiful world is there. So this is the actual world. This is the reflected, perverted reflection. This is the actual world. This is the perverted reflection of that world. Okay. Different species manifest according to the portion of the modes and the fruitative activity. So if different species are there, sometimes the upper species are there, sometimes lower species there. Sometimes you find that a tract of land is barren for want of sufficient water, and sometimes the tract is very green. Similarly, where particular mode of material nature are proportionally greater in the quantity, the different species of life are manifested accordingly. So depending on the three modes, whatever modes and whatever activity we have done, the fruitative activity we are doing, depending on those, we are getting a different kinds of body. Yeah. The branches of this tree extend downwards and upward. So branches are there which can go downward, which can go upward. We have already seen that pious activity is leading from the down to up, and the impious activity leading from up to down. Nourished by the three modes of material nature, the pigs are the object of the senses. This tree also has root going down. They are bound to the fruitive action of the, and they are bound to the fruitive action of the human society. This tree is of attachment, material attachment. So it is also described here. In the next slide, it is described better. So I will take this slide and again also. Okay. So this is the spiritual, eternal, spiritual real tree. This is the water, and this is the temporary reflection of this tree. Okay, temporary reflection. Okay. Spiritual tree, real fruits, real happiness. Material tree, perverted fruit, perverted happiness. Okay. So let's read this about this material world. Original tree is the spiritual world. Material world is reflecting on desire, perverted reflection. Okay. Nourishment is the three modes of material nature. That is the goodness, passion, and ignorance. That is the nourishment. Okay. Roots. The roots of this material existence grows upward. And secondary roots are in the human planetary system, that is Bhuloka, and go downward and spread in all directions. So main roots are the like a banyan tree. One is the primary root and the others are the secondary root. So there are primary root is there who is coming from the Brahma. The secondary roots are also there which are going, which are spreading in all the directions. Okay. Subsidiary roots are attachment, aversion, which are by the products of different variety of suffering and the sense enjoyment. Okay. Tendencies towards piety and impiety are considered to develop these secondary roots. So if pious people are there, they'll develop the secondary root toward the upward. If impious people are there, they will develop the activity which they will develop the roots which is going the downward. So like that, which we have described in the first slide. Branches are there who are going upward and downward. These are considered to be the 14 planetary systems. Okay. The various manifestations are there. Lower part of the branches are human being, animal, horses, cat, dogs, etc. Upper parts are the demigod, Gandharva, and many other higher species. So we have seen that. Green leaves are the Vedic hinds. Ritualistic formulas of Veda. Pigs, the new branches coming out, they are considered to be the sense object. Give sound, form, touch, etc. Tips of the branches, they are the senses like eye, ear, nose, etc. Fruits, karma of jiva, that is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So which we have read in the first slide. Okay. What we are doing, we are hopping from one branch to another and trying to taste the fruit. But real fruit is not here. Real fruit is in the spiritual world. This is the reflection. We are not getting the fruit. Okay. Now, after describing the material world, Krishna says we should cut this material world with a sword. And what is the sword name? Let's try to understand through this sloka. The real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, and where its foundation is. But with determination, one must cut down this tree with the weapon of detachment. Okay, so this is the answer. With the weapon of detachment. The first answer we have got. First, Krishna is describing the tree, that this tree is reflection, this tree is material world. Second, Krishna is saying that the weapon of detachment, we can cut this tree. Okay. One must cut this tree with the weapon of detachment. Okay. Second thing, Krishna is saying that. And next, what is he saying? Doing one must seek that place from which, having gone once, one never returns, and there surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom everything has begun and in whom everything is abiding since time immemorial. Okay. So how can one develop the detachment? For developing the detachment, Krishna is saying about the place from where if one goes, never returns. Okay, because he is saying about the spiritual world. So Krishna is saying, first thing is he is describing this material world, the inverted tree. Second thing, he is describing that with detachment we can cut this tree. Third thing, he is saying for cultivating the detachment, what is the way out? What is the way out? Okay, so let's read about what is the way out to cultivate the detachment. Just one. Okay. Okay. So these are the things we have done till now. That this world is like inverted reflection. Second thing, detachment. With detachment, sword of detachment, we can cut this material tree. Okay. Let's try to understand what is Krishna saying next. So just this is the 3 and 4 sloka. This tree is not real, but a reflection of the real tree. Next, impossible to fully understand the real tree because real tree we are we are in the material world and we are not able to understand what is there in the spiritual world, and it is impossible to understand the spiritual world because the beginning and the end and everything of the spiritual world is Krishna only, and we are not able to understand about Krishna fully. Okay. Solution: cut down this tree with the determination, with the acts of detachment. What is the sword? Detachment is the sword to cut this tree, and one must go beyond the tree and surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead to understand this tree. Okay. So these are the desired result. So these are the things which we have read. Why real form of tree cannot be understood? Because root is up and extension is at other end. When we are entangled in this material expansion, one cannot see how far the tree extends and where it is ending. Okay. How to find out the cause? Fathers to the Brahmaloka, to the Garbhodaksha Vishnu, to the Krishna. So we know that this tree is originating from the Brahma, and Brahma is originating from the Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Garbhodaksha Vishnu is originating from Krishna. So ultimately, everything is originating from Krishna. So Krishna is the end of the research work. How to search out that origin? From association of the person in knowledge of Supreme Personality of Godhead. When we are associating with the likely minded people, when we are associating with the people who know the truth, we can understand where the origin of this tree. What are the benefit of this knowledge? Gradually become detached from the false reflection. This tree is reflection. When we know about this tree, we can gradually elevate ourselves from this tree. Okay, we can cut the connection. Actually become situated in the real tree. Okay. Asatta sangha tyaga. Okay, asanga. With the determination, one must cut down this strongly rooted tree with the weapon of detachment. Detachment is the only way out. So we have already read. So what is the way of detachment? This is what described in the 15.3. First thing, Krishna describes the tree. Second thing, Krishna tells that detachment is needed. But the third thing Krishna is saying, how to cultivate the detachment. Okay. So how to cultivate the detachment is written here. How to cultivate the detachment. So with attachment only we can cut the detachment. This is what Krishna is telling. Okay, surrendering to Krishna, attaining to the eternal abode, finding one in the knowledge. When one is the knowledge, when one is surrendering to Krishna, when he is attaining the eternal abode, then he can cut the tree of detachment. Okay, so Krishna is ultimately saying detachment we can cultivate through attachment. Okay. If we want to detach from this material, first we have to attach ourselves to Krishna. First we have to attach ourselves to the Supreme Lord. First we have to attach ourselves to the Supreme, the spiritual world. Then we can detach automatically from the material world. So Krishna is first describing this tree as material world, and Krishna is describing as the spiritual world also. Then second, Krishna tells one must cut the tree. Third, Krishna is telling one must attach ourselves to the spiritual world. One must surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One must attach ourselves to the Supreme Person. Then only detachment comes from this material world. So detachments come naturally after we attach to the Supreme Person. So what is the answer? How to become detached? Many persons ask this question. How to become detached from the material world? When I take level 1 classes, every person will be asking how to become detached, how to become detached from this material world. Because Krishna describes many times how to become detachment is necessary to progress in the spiritual world. Detachment is necessary to progress in the spiritual world. That is what Krishna was describing earlier. Now Krishna is telling in chapter number 15 that detachment comes only after attachment. One must surrender to the Supreme Personal. One must taste the higher thing. Then the lower taste, that is the taste of this material, automatically they can leave. Okay, so that is the thing. So detachment comes after attachment to the Supreme. Okay, so this is the answer we are getting. Hare Krishna Mataji.
निर्माण मोहाजित संग दोषा अध्यात्म नित्या विनिवृत्त कामा द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ता सुख दुःख संज्ञैः गच्छन्त्यमूढाः पदमव्ययम् तत्.
So this is what Krishna is telling, that those who are free from false prestige, illusion and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with the material lust, who are free from the duality of happiness and distress, and who, unbewildered, know how to surrender to Supreme Person, attains to that eternal kingdom. So attaining the eternal kingdom, so different spiritual kingdom, who can attain? Nirmama. Nirmama is, mama is mine. Nirmama is, he is not mine. He is free from the false prestige that these things are not mine. Okay. Moha, Jita Sangha Dosha. Sangha Dosha. Sangha Dosha is free from false association. Okay. So these are the quality of the people who know how to surrender to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So these are the meaning. Who will be able to surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Nirmama, free from not mine. These are not mine. Nirmama, free from false prestige or pride. Second thing, moha. Moha means free from the illusion. Third, jita sangha dosha, free from the false association. Sangha dosha, false association. Adhyatma nitya, understand the eternal. Okay. Dvandvair vimukta, free from the duality. Dvandvair, duality. Then vinivratta kama means done with the material lust and unbewildered. So these are the quality of the people who will be able to surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Second portion, that is section number B, transmigration. Okay, how to transmigrate ourselves from this material world, that is the reflection, to the spiritual world, that is the permanent tree. Okay, how to transmigrate. So let's understand.
न तद्भासयते सूर्यो न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम.
So now Krishna is describing about his world in this sloka. Na tad bhashate suryo na shashanko na pavaka. So bhashate, there is his world is not illuminated by the Surya, nor the Sashanka, nor the Pavaka. So there is no need of any sun in his world. There is no need of any Shashanka. There is no need of any moon. There is no need of any electricity in his material world. Okay. Yad gatvana nivartante tad dhama paramam mama. That dhama is mine. That dhama is mine. Where yad gatvana nivartante. One who goes there, he won't come back. Okay. So that is the description of his Dhamma Krishna is telling. So he's telling that the abode of mine is not illuminated by the sun or moon, nor by electricity. Okay. Everything is effulgent, self-effulgent. Everything is glowing in his own. Okay. One who reaches, it never returns to this material world. One who goes there, he never returns to this material world. Okay. So this is the material world. This is represented, and this is the Earth planet. It is represented. So we are going from the Earth planet to this spiritual world. Okay, this is the spiritual world. This is the material world. This is the spiritual world. So how we are going? How we are able to go? So we can see one rocket is there, fuel is there, and with the help of this fuel, the rocket is in the spiritual in the space. But that is also material space. But how to come out of this material space to the spiritual space? This person is coming out. Let's see what he's having. Okay, let's see his hand. What he's having? What is there in his hand? Can you tell me in the chat box? What is there in his hand? Yes, what is there in this chat in his hand? Can you tell me what he is using for going from this Earth planet to this spiritual world? Can you tell me what is there in his hand?
The beads.
Beads are there. So chanting process. Okay. So beads are there. Chanting process. By using the chanting process, we can transmigrate ourselves from this earth to this spiritual world. Okay. The chanting process he is using. Okay. We can also use the chanting process. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has mercifully given us the Sankirtan Mahayagya, 13 Sankirtan Yagya. Okay. He has given us the Hare Krishna mantra. We can use the Hare Krishna mantra and the bead, and we can transmigrate ourselves from this earthly kingdom to the spiritual world. Okay. There is no need of sun, there is no need of electricity, there is no need of moon. Nothing is needed here. Everything is self-effulgent. You can see no sun, moon is there. Okay. The one who goes there never comes back. Characteristics of Supreme Abode, Tad Dhama Paramam Mama, that abode is not illuminated by the sun, moon, fire, electricity. Once attained, one never returns to this material world. Okay.
ममैवांसो जीवलोके जीवभूतः सनातनः मनःषष्ठानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति.
Okay. So, so the living entity in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental part. Okay, due to the conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with six senses, which include the mind. Sashta indriyani. Okay, Sashta is six indriyani, and mana is included in the Sashta indriyani. The five, the indriya, that is the indriya, the five senses plus mind. So mind is included in the senses, and with this, using these senses, what the person is doing is very struggling very hard in this material world, in this conditioned life. Okay, but these the living entity is my fragmental part only. So you can see this. This is one part of flower, and the living entity, these are the parts. These things are part of this flower. So living entity are also part of this the supreme person, the supreme soul. Like the fire is there and the sparks are there. So fire is there and sparks are getting parted from the fire. Okay, so they are also part and parcel of the fire only. Quality wise, they are same. If the spark goes to some ignitable thing, then it will ignite the fire there. Okay, the quality is same, but the quantity is very, very different. Okay, so that is the living entity is part and parcel of Krishna. The living entity is eternal part and parcel, fragmental part of Krishna. Okay, and but they are very struggling very hard when they goes away with Krishna. Okay, when we are going away with Krishna, we are struggling very hard to in this conditioned material life. What is the identity of living being? Their original position is the living entity, their eternal part and parcel of Krishna. We are part and parcel of Krishna. We are servant of Krishna. Our position is this. Okay. When we are in our natural position, we are happy. Okay. When we are in our natural position, we are happy. When we are not in our natural position, we are not happy. Okay. Like that, I was listening to the Tamil Krishna Goswami Maharaj when he was remembering to Srila Prabhupada. So one incident he was telling that Prabhupada and Tamil Krishna Goswami Maharaj was going. It was like a time of November, December time. Okay, very cold season. In the New York and other cities, it is very cold season. So he was going, and there were ice in the road were there. Okay, so the Prabhupada was hitting those ices sometimes. So the Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj was thinking, why Prabhupada is doing this? Okay, why he is doing this? So he asked, Prabhupada, why you are doing this? Prabhupada tells the same thing. This is not the natural position of ice. Okay, this is not the natural position of ice. And when it is not in natural position, it is causing trouble to other people. Okay, and one person should try to break this ice. So like that he was relating, okay, the material world with the ice. Okay, like that he was doing. So we are also part and parcel of Krishna. We are going away from the Krishna. When spark goes away from the Krishna, gradually the spark will come to end. Okay? But when he is attached to Krishna, then the spark will automatically glow. He will be happy. So when we are like a fish, okay, when fish is there in his natural condition in water, then fish is happy. When fish is taken out from the water, anything you give to the fish, anything you give to the fish wants only water, his natural position. So we are also not in our real position. Our real position is the servant of Krishna, to be attached from Krishna, to be attached to Krishna. When we are going away from Krishna, then the real problem starts from that position. Okay, how to become happy again? Attach ourselves to Krishna again, then we'll become happy. Okay, anything you give, nothing will satisfy unless and until we attach ourselves to Krishna, just like the fish in the outside the water. Okay, so that is what it is mentioned. Current position, they are now struggling very hard with mind and senses in this material world, but nothing will be satisfying to the person because he's away from Krishna. Okay.
शरीरं यदवाप्नोति यच्चापुत्क्रामतीश्वरः गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धानि वाशयात्.
Okay, the living entity in this material world carries different conception of life from one body to another as the air carries the aroma. Okay, so living entity is there. So he has subtle body, he has gross body, and the spiritual body is there, that is Atma. So the subtle body is also there, that contains the mind, ego, and intelligence. So one goes from one body to another, one goes from one body to another. Then he carries the conception, whatever conception he has accumulated in this life, he will carry the conception to the next life. Okay, like the air is carrying the aroma. Okay? This is what Krishna is saying. So two options we have: either transmigration options. Two options we have: either we can use the beads, either we can use the names of Krishna, either we can attach ourselves to Krishna and go to Krishna Loka, or we can be doing the activity here only. Okay, and we will be attached to this world only. So this is what Krishna is describing. If whatever conception we acquire in this material world, according to that we'll be getting the bodies. Okay. Process of transmigration. The living entity acquires a material mind and carries different conceptions in life from one body to another. Analogy is air carrying the aroma. Okay. The living entity, thus taking another gross body, obtains a certain type ear, tongue, nose, and sense of touch, which are grouped about the mind. He thus enjoys a particular set of sense objects. So whatever body we get depends on whatever conceptions we have accumulated in this life. Okay.
उत्क्रामन्तं स्थितं वापि भुञ्जानं वा गुणान्वितं विमूढानानुपश्यन्ति पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषः.
So the foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit his body, nor can they understand what sort of body he enjoys under the spell of the three modes of nature. But one who has eye trained in knowledge can see all this. Okay. So eye trained in the knowledge is required. So you can see a person, he is having car, but he doesn't have the knowledge how the car works. Okay. So if any problem is there in the car, he won't be able to solve the problem. Okay. So, but one who is in the knowledge, one who is a mechanic, they can quickly see, okay, this is the problem. He can correct that problem. Okay. So foolish cannot see what is happening to his body, but a person who has knowledge, he can understand what is happening to the body, how we can cut the detachment, how we can go to Krishna Loka. The endeavoring transcendentalist who is situated in self-realization can see all this clearly. So the transcendentalist, okay, who has the knowledge, who has seen the truth, they can understand what is happening to the body, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there. Okay, he can understand. He has given the Mahamantra, he has given that the Sankirtan movement, so that we can use that and we can go to Krishna Loka. Okay, but those who are not situated in self-realization cannot see what is taking place. Though they may. What after that? What is there, Mataji? This is what is written. Not visible in my slide.
Prabhu, what are you talking about? Where?
This is what is written, Mataji.
Prabhuji,
Yes,
it is
Prabhuji.
not visible here.
Prabhuji, even
It
in
is only
the
try to,
Bhagavad
then it
Gita
is
book,
got.
Okay.
even in the Bhagavad Gita book, it is only there only, though they may try to.
Okay,
It
though may
ends
they
there.
try to. So a person who is in self-realization, they can understand the situation, but a person who is not situated in self-realization cannot see what is taking place, what is happening to this body. Okay. Those who are not really knowledge in his ignorance. What is the cure of this ignorance? Ignorance, knowledge of Krishna. When we have knowledge of Krishna, Krishna gives all the knowledge. Krishna is giving all about this. Krishna is giving the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita about all those things, how the karma should be done, what quality we should attain, which thing we should associate with, all those things, all those knowledge Krishna is giving. Krishna is describing that this world is like a material world, is like a inverted tree. This world is like inverted reflection. We should cut this with the detachment. How to attach, how to cultivate the detachment with attachment to Krishna. All things Krishna is describing. Okay, so ignorance can be. What is the cure of ignorance? Ignorance can be spelled away by using the knowledge given by Krishna. So once, what is the cure of this ignorance? Krishna says knowledge. Okay, knowledge is the cure for ignorance. Those who are trained can see all this clearly because their mind is clarified by the yoga practice and thus situated in the self-relation. But those whose mind are not developed and those who are not situated in self-relation cannot see what is taking place, though they may try to. So Bhakti yogis are the actual yogi. They have realized the self, world, and the Supreme Lord, and they can see what is happening. Okay. Now the section C, Krishna's position as maintainer, how Krishna is maintaining. Okay. The splendor of the sun, which dissipates the darkness of this whole world, comes from me. And the moon and the splendor of fire also comes from me. Okay. This is what Krishna is telling, that the sun, moon, fire, everything is coming from me.
गामाविश्य च भूतानि धारयाम्यहमोजसा पुष्णामि चौषधिः सर्वा सोमो भूत्वा रसात्मकः.
What is the Krishna's position? This is what Krishna is describing. I enter into each planet and by my energy they stay in orbit. Okay, so scientists are trying to see how these planets are in their orbit, how they're staying in their orbit. Okay, so sun is there and the planets are going around the sun. Okay, and they're trying to understand. They're telling, okay, gravity is there, but from where this gravity is coming? What is the cause of this gravity? Okay, so they have given the name as gravity. So who is causing the gravity? The Lord is causing the gravity. This is the energy of Lord which is causing the every planet to stay in their orbit. This is what Krishna is saying. I enter into each planet and by my energy they stay in orbit. I become the moon and thereby supply the juice of life to all the vegetables. So whatever vegetable is there, Som Rasa is given by the Krishna only. Okay. So he is giving the food now. Yeah. After that, what he is doing to the food?
अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राणापानसमायुक्तः पचाम्नं मयि चतुर्विधम्.
Pachami annam chaturvidam. So he is pachami. He is digesting the chaturvidam, 4 types of annam. What are the 4 types? So let's understand. I am the fire of the digestion in every living body, and I am the air of life, outgoing and incoming, and by which I digest the 4 kind of food stuffs. So Krishna is first. He told that he is the moon which is giving the somrasa. He is the moon which is growing all the vegetables. Now next he is saying that I am the fire of the digestion. We are eating the food. What is happening to the food? How the food is getting digested? We do not know. Krishna is digesting the food. Krishna says he is the fire of digestion in every living body, and I am the air of life, coming and incoming and outgoing. So he is maintaining our life also. Okay, we do not know how we are taking the breath, how we are expelling the breath. Even we have not, when we are sleeping, we are breathing. Okay, so Krishna is giving that breath. Okay, by which I digest the 4 kind of food stuff. Okay, so 4 kinds of food stuff. Krishna is saying he is digesting the 4 kinds of food stuff. What are the 4 kinds of food stuffs? Can anyone tell me in the chat box? What are the 4 kinds of food stuff? Yes.
Bhakshya. Bhakshya, that is chewed. Odia,
Okay.
that is sipped,
Mhm.
Lehia, that is licked,
Mhm.
and Choshia, that is sucked.
Okay. So these are the food stuff. Krishna is telling that I am digesting all this food stuff. Okay. Now, again, one very
Sar-
important sloka.
सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो मत्तस्मृतिर्ज्ञानमपोहने च वेदैश्च सर्वै अहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृत् वेदवित् एव चाहम्.
So this is 15th sloka, very important sloka. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannavishto. So he is sitting in everyone's heart. Okay, he is sitting in everyone's heart. Mata smritir jnanam apohanam chita. Apohanam cha. Mata means from me. Smriti comes, that is remembrance comes. Jnanam comes, that is knowledge comes from him only. Apohanam, but the forgetfulness comes from him. Okay, so he is sitting in everyone's heart and he is giving the knowledge, he is giving the smriti, the memory, and he is giving the forgetfulness. Okay, from him everything is coming. Vedayascha sarvar aham eva vedyo. Okay, so Vedayascha sarvar aham eva vedyo. Vedyo means to know. Aham eva vedyo means this is me only. Eva is me. So this is the me only which is to be known from the Veda. Okay, Vedayascha sarvar, even the all the Vedas. Okay, by all the Vedas, it is me and me only which is to be known. Okay, so the goal of every Veda is to know Krishna. Vedayascha sarvar aham eva vedyo. Okay, so the goal of every Veda is to know Krishna and Krishna only. It is written only also. Okay. Then Vedanta Krit. So he is the Vedanta Krit. He is the compiler of the Veda. And Veda Vid. He is the knower of the Veda. Veda Vid. Vid means to know. Veda is the Veda. Okay. So he is the compiler of Vedanta. He is the compiler of the Veda. Both he is. Okay. So I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. Everything comes from Krishna. By all the Vedas, I am to be the known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta. I am the knower of the Veda. Okay, important sloka. Sun, moon, fire, electricity, splendor come from Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is the benefit of such conception of life is given in this Veda? The Lord holds the sun, the Lord holds the vegetable, the moon. He gives the somrasa to the vegetables. He gives the vegetables. The vegetables are nourished by the moonshine, which comes from the Lord only. Okay. 4 kinds of food stuff. Krishna is giving the outgoing and incoming airs. He is giving the digestion. Yes, what are the four food stuff? Chewed, you can see here, the one who is chewed, one is swallowed, then one is licked, and one who is sucked. So these are the 4 kinds of food stuff. So Sarvesh Chaham Hridhi Sannivishtos. He is sitting in everyone's heart. Next. So from him the knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness come. He is the end goal of all the Veda, and he is the maker of the Veda. He is the compiler of the Veda, and he is the knower of Veda too. Okay, these are the 4 things which is mentioned. Now the section number D, that is from 16 to 20. 15.16. There are 2 classes of being, the infallible and the fallible. In the material world, every entity is fallible, and in the spiritual world, every entity is called infallible. Fallible means which position is fixed. Fallible is whose position is not fixed. If a person is there in the material world, he will say something today, tomorrow he will turn. Okay, he will say something different tomorrow. Okay, so they can turn from their position, but Krishna didn't turn from his position. Okay, so there are 2 types of living 2 classes of beings are there, fallible and infallible. In the material world, every entity is fallible. In the spiritual world, every entity is called infallible. Okay. Beside these 2, there is greatest living personality, the Lord himself, who has entered into these worlds and is maintaining them. Okay.
यस्मात् क्षरमतीतोऽहम् अक्षरादपि चोत्तमः अतोऽस्मि लोके वेदे च प्रतितः पुरुषोत्तमः.
Because I am transcendental beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am greatest, I am celebrated both in this world and in the Veda as the Supreme Person. Okay. Krishna is describing about himself. There are two kinds of entity. We have read the three slokas. Okay, that there are two kinds of living entity: fallible and infallible one. And Krishna, the Supreme Person, is master of both. He is the greatest personality. He enters the three world and then maintains them. Third, Krishna says, I am that Supreme Soul celebrated both in this world and in the Veda as the Supreme Person. So these are the three slokas. Okay. 15.16, 15.17, and 15.18. Two types of living entity, fallible and infallible. Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is maintaining the both, who is entering the every world and maintaining them. And last, Krishna is the Supreme Soul, which is celebrated in both. Okay. This is the three slokas. Garbhodaksha Vishnu is there. Every the demigods are coming and paying obeisances in front of the Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Brahmaji is there, always remembering about Krishna. Every demigods are there, they are sitting, they're trying to remember Krishna. They're explaining about Krishna, glorifying Krishna. Shivji is there, he's explaining the Parvati Ma about the glories of Krishna, about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay.
यो मामेवमसम्मूढो जानाति पुरुषोत्तमं स सर्वविद् भजति मां सर्वभावेन भारत.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. I just read that shloka. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
This one. Yeah. Whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting is to be understood as the knower of everything, and he therefore engages himself in full devotional service, O son of Bharata. Okay, so one who knows the position of him as the Supreme Person, as the servitor, as the devotee, as the service, as the about that he is a servant of Krishna. Okay, one who knows this position and he is engaging himself in the service of Lord. Okay, who knows the actual position of Krishna, that person only can do that. Okay, one who has knowledge that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and what is our position? We are servant of Krishna. So if one is knowing that thing, then only he can engage. So first Krishna started with description of this world, the inverted tree. Then he started with the detachment process. Then he told that attachment process. Now for the attachment process, he is describing the material world and the spiritual world so that we can easily attach with Krishna. Then he said that every Veda, I am to be the known, I am the compiler of Veda, I am the knower of the Veda. And he tells lastly that he is the one who knows that his real position, he can attach himself to Krishna. There is no doubt in that. Okay, and he knows about Krishna, then he can engage himself in the devotional service. Okay, that is what Krishna is saying in these slokas. This is the most confidential part of the Vedic scripture, O sinless one, and if it is disclosed now by me, whoever understands this will become wise and his endeavors will know perfection. Okay, the devotional thing, the devotion and the reciprocation of Krishna to the devotee is called the most confidential part of the this Vedic literature. One who knows his real position, one who knows the devotion, one who knows about Krishna, that is the most confidential thing which is written in Veda. Everyone cannot understand unless until they are situated in the real knowledge about Krishna. Okay, so that is the most confidential part. Okay, most confidential part of the Vedic scripture. Summary of Purushottam Yoga. First, knowledge explained in this chapter is the essence of Vedanta and most confidential part, substance of the Veda. What is the result of understanding this? One will become wise and his endeavor will know perfection. And what is the qualification to understand the Purushottam Yoga? Sinlessness. Okay. So these are the text number 20, the last sloka. So these are the sections we have discussed from 4 sections, small chapter, very small chapter. Start the slides here. Okay. So now if you have any question, you can ask. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, can I ask you one question?
Yes, Mataji.
Can I ask Prabhuji? That is, suppose after coming into this particular Krishna consciousness, I am doing japa, and for a few days, 15, 20 days, like the japa will be normal and everything will be okay. Everything will be going on smoothly. Suppose if any negative incident or anything which disturbs the mind of happens, it will be very difficult for me to get out of it and again come back to the thing. And again, when I come back, again the concentration is getting affected, and it takes some time to come to the normal phase. You are in this place for so many months or something. So, how do you advise me in getting out of this problem?
Okay, so Mataji, first thing is we should chant in the morning hours, Mataji. So morning hours there is a Mangal Aarti will be happening in the morning hours. So you can attain the online Mangal Aarti. After that, immediately start the chanting. Okay, that is the thing which our counselors used to tell us, that in the morning hour when you wake, try to do the Mangal Aarti. If you are staying nearby a temple, you can go to temple and start doing the Mangal Aarti there, start attending the Mangal Aarti there, and do the japa there only. Then and there, only in front of have finished the Mangal Aarti, start doing that. Okay, because there is no work in the morning, nothing is there. You are free. And after Mangal Aarti, your mind is focused on Krishna, and you can start chanting from that and there. So you will see that morning time concentration is very nice. So we can finish our japa very nicely in the morning hours. Okay, first thing is that. Okay, second thing, if you are not residing nearby temple, online the things are going on, online Mangala Aarti is going on. You can have the temple programs we have in ISKCON Mangaluru also. So you can attend that Mangala Aarti program and start doing the japa at that time only. Okay, it will take some time for the purification. Okay, the basic thing of purification is the chanting. Other things are association. So when we are associating, gradually we'll see that we are developing the taste. Okay, gradually we'll develop the taste in the chanting, in the harinam, in the process of reading the literature, in the process of attaching ourselves to the devotee, in the process of serving the Vaishnava in the temple. So these are the very basic principles and very practical things which we can apply in our life, and we can change our life. Okay, the thing is, we should also do the japa in the morning part. Okay, another thing for the purifications are the devotees, serving the devotees, serving the Vaishnava. Okay, if any Vaishnava is there in front of your house, if you are going to temple, you can call the Vaishnava, you can serve that Vaishnava in your home, you can serve the Vaishnava in the temple, you can go to the temple, you can serve the other people who are coming to the temple, you can preach them. Okay, so many services are there. When we engage ourselves in the service, then these things become very, very practical, and we start enjoying. Okay, sometimes in the chanting process we don't enjoy too much because we are just a starter, but doing the services we'll enjoy. Okay, so the services, when we do the services, we enjoy. Okay, so try to go to the local temples if you have, or attain the online programs, serve the devotees. You will see that automatically you are getting the that devotee association and serving the devotee, you will get the happiness in that. Okay, gradually will gain the taste in the chanting also. So that process you can do, Mataji.
Prabhuji, I
Yes,
have a
Mataji.
point. In this is the first
So many people have unmuted themselves. I'll just stop all of them. If you have any question, you can raise the hand so that I can unmute you. Okay. Yes, one Sonia Mataji. Sonia Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. You want to ask any
Prabhuji,
question?
I
Mataji?
have one question, whether I should do it online, Mangal Arti, or at home, because I'm doing at home since it's more than 1.5 years doing this.
Okay.
So which is better? The temple is far away from me. It takes around.
If I already told, if temple is very far away, you can do the online. If temple is nearby, you're residing nearby a temple.
But I'm
then
doing
try
at
to
home.
go.
So which is better? Online is better, or myself?
Better is attained by physical association, Mataji. Physically, if you're associating, that's better. But if the temple is too far, we are associated with this ISKCON Mangalore, who has given us the platform for the online, all the things which can be associated. Online, all the things can be found in one link. Okay, and if you're residing nearby any temple, you can go to the temple. You can attain Mangalarti. That's the better. If you cannot attain, then there is online programs is there. So online you can attain. There is no problem in that. Okay. But the better if you go the temple physically, you do the chanting, sitting there in the temple. That is better. Okay.
So at home I should stop. You mean?
You already told the temple is very far. So in the
No,
morning
so
hours,
I should be online. Online. If I do it online, I cannot.
Yes, you can continue doing online. If you are 4:30 in the morning, if you are going to temple there, if you are residing very far away from the temple,
No, but I'm doing at home. That is my question. I'm doing
yes,
at home.
Yes,
So
yes. Do
myself.
home online. You can do at home.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you
Mataji.
so much. Thank you.
But if you are residing nearby temple, this temple is 100 meters away, 200 meters away. Many devotee used to stay nearby temple only. Okay, they prefer residing nearby temple because they can attend the temple programs. So like that, they
I'm like half an hour away from the temple, so I'm
very far. So in the morning hour, one devotee was there. He used to go to the temple. The temple was like 3-4 kilometers. In the morning he used to go, the dogs used to bark. Okay, like that things are happening. So he started doing online. After 1 or 2 years, he has taken flat in front of the temple only. So like this, devotee prefer residing in front of the temple. Okay.
So Hari
If
bol.
you're
So
not
maybe I will
residing,
also take a flat nearby.
so that is the thing. One example I have described to you, Mataji. If online, so if there is the meaning is you should not excuse yourself that we don't have association, we cannot do Mangal Aarti. Online programs is there, you can attend like that. Okay, if you're residing too far away, you can attend the online. Okay, so there is a this should not be excused that we are residing too far from the temple. Okay, Mataji.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
First time we observe Krishna address Krishna Anaga. Naga, I'll see. I didn't observe that we observe that Krishna has addressed Arjuna as Anaga. Okay, I'll see. And I'll see where it is addressed like that. And in the purport, if you read, the Prabhupada will describe why it is like that. Okay. So if you don't have, please unmute me. Okay, I'll unmute you.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
15.20. The last.
Yes, Prabhuji. Which sloka?
In the 15.20.
15.20. Okay, I'll see.
Iti guhyatam shastri dukkham maya anagha. Oh, my anagha, he says.
Oh, sinless one it is written.
Yeah.
Will become wise.
Why he is saying anagha? This is the first time he uses this word.
Your voice is getting muffled, Prabhuji.
Yeah. This
Not-
is the first time he has used this word, Prabhuji.
Okay.
So I want to know why it is.
Okay. The word is mentioned.
Anagha.
Anaga is sinless one. Okay. The anaga meaning is described as in the meaning. If you see, I'll open the Veda base open so that you can see with me. Okay. Just wait. Krishna described the anaga word also. So you will.
Why so?
Yeah, why so it is you will see. Krishna has described. Now Prabhupada has described that this word is important in the sloka.
Yeah, but this is the first time he is using this word. If you see the precedent, so I'm not getting a clear picture of this. So kindly tell me, sir.
Okay, so this is the sloka which is described here, pointing out, Prabhuji. Here it is anaga. It is written. Okay? Anaga. So what is the meaning of anaga? It is written. Anaga is O sinless one. Okay. You can see the screen. Anaga is O sinless one. When we read the translation of the purport, translation is there, then purport is there. When we read the purport, Krishna Prabhupada tells the word anaga by which Arjuna is addressed is significant. Okay. Anaga, O sinless one, means that unless one is free from all sinful reaction, it is very difficult to understand Krishna. One has to become free from all contamination, all sinful activity, then he can understand. But devotional service is so pure and potent that once one is engaged in devotional service, he automatically comes to the stage of sinlessness. Okay. This is what Prabhupada described in the purports. Okay, Professor?
Okay.
Okay. So try to read the sloka and try to read the chapter and try to read the purport and try to attain the quiz. Okay. After that, we'll meet next week. Mataji will be sharing the form. If you have any problem in the chapter and understanding the chapter, you can ask me the question on the form. No question has been asked, I think, from last 3 to 4 classes. So I fear you are reading or not. Try to read the chapters, try to ask the questions. Okay. I have one class from 8:30. So I'll leave with your permission. I'll take leave. Okay. I'm just unmuting.
Thank you,
everyone.
Prabhuji. Thank you. Thanks.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna,
Mataji.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We'll meet
Hare
next
Krishna,
time.
Prabhuji.
Mataji, the Bhakti Vriksha classes are going on. 2 classes we had, no? What happened
Yes,
to that?
Prabhuji, they are going on, Prabhuji. But
Yeah.
I suppose Nandita Mataji would be giving a clear picture because I do not have the attendance link. But I'll share with Mataji. She'll update you, Prabhu.
Rajat Prabhu is having one and Sachin Prabhu is having one. The leaders we have now. Rajat Prabhu I can see.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Rajat Prabhu I can see. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. And Sachin Prabhu I cannot see here. There he can give them. Okay, so Chitra Mataji.
Prabhuji.
Yes, how the class is going on, Mataji? Is there any? Okay, I will ask otherwise Mataji how the class is going on. What are the things happening? Yeah. Okay. So we'll meet in the next chapter, that is chapter number 16. So only 3 session we have left. Then attain all the quizzes so that we can go to chapter level 3. Okay. So level 3 will have Ishopanishad will be there, Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instructions will be there. So many chapters will be there. Okay. Try to be like regular in the classes and the quizzes and the chapters. Okay. Try to read the chapters and try to assimilate the teachings in your life. So whatever problems you are facing, you can ask me. Okay. We'll try to solve the problems. We have small Bhakti Vriksha groups are there. They are reading, they're discussing about the chapter. You can attain that. So many things are there for association. We'll try to associate all those things. Okay. And if you are chanting, Prabhuji has asked me how many people are chanting very nicely, then he can arrange for the aspiration, arrange for the shelter, arrange for the diksha. So these things Prabhuji will be arranging. If you are sincere enough in the classes, we have so many attendance links till now, so many things we have, so many data we have that you are doing the classes, these things are reading. So once we finish the chapter, this Bhagavad Gita will move to the other chapters which are important. Okay, other books which are important. So try to finish the quizzes, try to finish the chapter, try to read the chapter, then do the quizzes. If you have any question, you can ask me till these chapters. Whatever problems you have, you can ask me. Whatever practical problems you are facing in your life, you can ask me. These things you can ask, and within yourself also you can discuss in the Bhakti Vriksha, and whatever problems coming out, you can ask me after the classes. Okay, so we'll meet again in the next chapter. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.